If you've ever felt like your brain craves novelty but needs structure, you are not alone. So many ADHDers struggle with this exact thing. In today's video, I'm going to explain why repetition is so important and why rituals are better than routines. Let's get started. Welcome to Creatively Divergent. If you're new here, I'm Kristen, a fellow ADHDer and a creative mindset coach. It's my belief that leading with creativity is the secret to living a great neurodivergent life. And repetition plays a huge role in that, whether we like it or not. But before I get into how we can use it to help us thrive, let's talk a little bit about how it shows up in the world. We see it in branding, music, art, and our daily lives. Seeing and doing things repeatedly makes us feel more familiar with it. And the more familiar we feel, the more we know and trust something. Let's look at how repetition shows up in art. Here we have an image of M.C. Escher's Sky and Water. Notice how he uses a repeating pattern to transform from fish to bird. In a single piece, he creates both predictability and surprise. Alternatively, let's look at Degas' painted dancers. He painted them over and over, trying to capture movement with paint. The intention wasn't to highlight the dancers themselves. He didn't see them as particularly special, yet we talk about his dancers like they're the subject, because it's the dancers that get repeated. Which is important to note because repetition is a powerful communicator. So you gotta be mindful of what you're repeating to yourself and to the world. And this is true in all creative expression, not just fine art. Take daily journaling, for instance. There's a reason why there's gratitude journals, but there aren't grievance journals. The more you repeat something, the more importance you give it. So if you're focusing on all the things that are going wrong, then you're going to find more things that are going wrong. So you might be thinking right now that that's great and all, but how do you use that information to make your life easier? The key is rituals. And I will get to that, I promise. But first I want to talk about the ultimate creative repetition, craft. Craft is repetition in action. It's not special, it just is. It's utilitarian. Whether it's knitting, crocheting, basket weaving, or embroidery, craft is built on repetition. And yes, it can feel tedious, but that's actually where the magic happens. Your hands take over, muscle memory replaces deep thought, and your brain relaxes, allowing you to more easily get into the flow state. And the flow state is considered the pinnacle of neurotypical creativity. For ADHDers, it's just good old-fashioned hyperfocus, something our brains do naturally. In that way, ADHDers are born for the art of crafting, a place where the process of making is the art, and the product is just a bonus. More than that, craft is a great way to help us learn patience and persistence, which is exactly what the ADHD brain needs when it's trying to build routines. Okay, so now let's take the lessons that we learn from the arts and craft world and apply it to our life. ADHDers struggle to form habits and stay consistent. Repetition is so important. The key is experimentation and rituals. Let's start with experimentation. This is the act of trial and error. It's the process of repeating the same actions over and over again, but changing small things each time until you find what works best for you. So if you struggle to exercise more, try different workouts until you find an exercise or sport that you absolutely love. And if you start something, but you don't have the urge to continue doing it, you can blame the sport and not yourself. Eventually, the action will lead to the right fit. And then doing it regularly doesn't come from the importance of it, the should. It comes from the desire to do it, the want. And that desire creates the dopamine you need to do the activity, to stay motivated, which is exactly what you need to build rituals. What's the difference? Rituals are acts that you perform on purpose, with intention. Think of putting milk and sugar in your coffee. You're going to do it every single day. You don't have to think about it. And if you run out of sugar one day, you may drink it without the sugar, or maybe not. But as soon as you have sugar, you're going to resume putting it in your coffee. Not because you've built some sort of routine or habit, but because you prefer drinking your coffee that way. Rituals are flexible, forgiving, and dopamine friendly. Now I want you to take that energy and apply it to all areas of your life. And if you're still feeling stuck on what it is that you find joy in to build a ritual, just go back to the experimentation phase. Regardless, it all comes down to repetition. So throw away the idea that it is tedious or boring and recognize it as the tool that it is. If you've built the ritual right, that won't take very long. Let that experimentation teach you that you can fail safely. If you miss a day, there's no need for guilt or shame. If the experiment doesn't go as planned, that's on the experiment. It's just information after all. It has no moral value and it doesn't say anything about you. And luckily, the neurodivergent brain loves information. It just gets easily overwhelmed. So when you establish a bunch of rituals, that takes away some of that overwhelm, and decision fatigue lessens as well. Because you're not making choices, you're just following patterns. Repetition, experimentation, and ritual help tidy up your mind in a brain-friendly way, meaning it works. Because telling yourself to do something and expecting yourself to remember only to beat yourself up when you don't doesn't work. Ever. And of course, if all of this feels like too big a task, go back to the arts and crafts. Starting any sort of art practice is going to help you practice these strategies without the stress of putting them in real-world situations. So whether it's knitting, journaling, or building small routines into your life, repetition is absolutely key to thriving neurodivergently. It leads to mastery, creates a flow state, and gives our brain structure that it can build routines off of. Just start slow and enjoy the process. And if you're still struggling to stick to a hobby or finish a project, check out the videos above. I think they may help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.